drift, and one day suddenly just drop and you're gone, finished.
What if a person doesn't know what to do in his future? I don't understand that.
It would anyhow end. At one point you would stop wandering because you would fall dead. Would you reach somewhere? No. Would you see something? No. That's it. I wish there were more to this story, but there is nothing. So what do I say? Go to school, go to college, get married, have kids, get a house, pester your kids, make them follow the same cycle, fall ill because you never took care of your body, again harass your kids with 10 years of your hospitalization, and after that, die. That's the story. That's it. That's the story. Would prefer to give up everything, but not this. Can even give up life, but not this. Mind you, love is dangerous because
Namaskaram, Acharya Ji. My name is Sindhuja. Actually, I have a confusion, not exactly a question. So my confusion is regarding it's related to passion, hobby, and like career. So what if a person doesn't know what to do in his future? Like how will his or her life end? I don't understand that.
it would anyhow end. It is certain it would end. In some way it would end. That's what. If you are just randomly wandering, at one point you would stop wandering because you would fall dead. Would you reach somewhere? No. Would you see something? No. That's it. There is no rhyme or reason to the way most people live. They just allow themselves to drift. They drift till they just fall dead. That's all. I wish there were more to this story, but there is nothing. So what do I say? That's what the story of the vast majority of mankind is. Drift, and one day suddenly just drop and you're gone, finished. There is nothing to it. No center, no theme, no purpose, no destination really, no meaning, nothing. Meaningless, unremarkable lives. That's how we live. We allow ourselves to live that way because that feels secure. That feels secure because that's how everybody is living. Meaningless, purposeless, centerless lives. Go to school, go to college, get married, have kids, get a house, pester your kids, make them follow the same cycle, fall ill because you never took care of your body, again harass your kids with 10 years of your hospitalization, and after that, die. Drag it to the fullest extent possible, and then that's the story. That's it. That's the story. And I'm not sure whether I included in this book that holy 8-step process to death. Is that there? The holy 8-step process to death that we all, each one of us follow.
I mean, there is an other side of this coin as well. So the other side is, see, I am a person, like I'm average at everything. I'm not perfect at one particular thing so that I can make it my career or like make it my like job or like make something out of it. So I don't understand where I'll be ending up. So that always pisses me off.
The question is not whether you are perfect. The question is whether you love perfection. Do you?
I feel
If a straight yes or no.
I didn't get your questions.
Do you love perfection? Do you love excellence where you see? Do you love the sight of a human being striving for excellence?
Yes.
Do you love that?
Yes.
Yes. Then submit to that kind of situation or system or person or whatever it is. If I can't be the highest, let me at least serve the highest. And nobody can be the highest. In that way, we all have to be servants. And that's the real meaning of service, even in the spiritual sense. If I can't be that, let that not stop me from loving that. Don't you love watching the moon?
I do.
Would you ever land there?
I wish.
But would you, realistically?
No.
No. Does that reduce your love?
No.
That's what. Or would you say, because I can't realistically land there or touch the moon, so I'm going to rather fall in love with the earthworm? Would you say that? The moon is infinitely better even if distant. Fall in love with the moon rather than embracing the earthworm. The only qualification that the earthworm has is that it is available, accessible. You can physically hold it, touch it, embrace it, and call it your own. If you can't land on the moon, at least fall in love with it. Allow yourself. Would that not be a worthier life? Spent waiting, watching, watching as worship? No. Nobody is perfect, by the way. Nobody is perfect in anything. It's not a question of your skill or knowledge or experience. It's a question of love.
So if I'm loving doing like 10 things, should I just continue doing the 10 things
Are
like
there,
as in forms of hobbies?
are there 10 moons?
Exactly. So I want to find out what my moon is. So I like dancing, I like singing, I like drawing and all of that. But I also want, like, as I've said, I want to be perfect at one thing. I want to choose something out of this always. That's always in my mind. But then I console myself that I'm good
Take a
at.
piece of paper and write down the conditions under which you like or dislike something. When you come to something that you can like despite the most adverse conditions, then you know what you love. I love my job as long as I'm paid for it. Can you work without being paid? If yes, then probably there is some beginning of love. Can you pay to work? Can you pay somebody just so that you can be allowed to work? Probably it's love now opening its wings. Are you getting it? There are 10 things we all like, and all liking or disliking is conditional. And the mark of love is that it survives all conditions. If you come to something that is dearer to you than life itself, then you know what love is. Would prefer to give up everything, but not this. Can even give up life, but not this. That's love. You know how the sages put it? Somebody must have asked the same question. So he said, if you want to understand love, Hmm? Look at the fish. Look at the fish. It loves the ocean so much that it surrounds itself totally with the ocean. Left, right, inside, outside, above, below. Hmm? The ocean is everything for the fish. And the love is so deep, the fish decides to give up life the moment it has to give up the ocean. Fish says, you can bring me out of the ocean. Yes, you can do that, but you can't make me live without the ocean. I'll die. I'll simply die. Now, that's a pointer. The fish doesn't consciously decide that. It's a thing of biology. But please understand, is there something that you can die for just as the fish does for the ocean? And if you have not yet come to that, then you still haven't come to love. Your love is still very conditional. Then it is just a form of liking. It is just a thing of pleasure or preference. It is not love. Hmm? But also, mind you, love is dangerous because it would mean you have come to something that's more precious to you than life itself. So, love can be threatening in all ways possible. Now, life is an extreme example. But love, when it enters, robs you of so many things. Right? You allow those things to fall away. You now have something so precious you don't care for the rest. And that's why many of us subconsciously avoid love. We would rather associate ourselves with some petty object. Love means associating yourself with something tremendous. And submitting to it. When something so tremendous enters your life, it leaves no space for the little, for the petty, for the worthless. All that is elbowed out. But in the little and the petty, our comforts and securities lie. So love becomes dangerous. It leaves you insecure. But that's also the only way to live, no? What else? That madness called love. For most of us, love is not a madness. For most of us, love is a cultivated and pre planned project, like arranged marriage. All kinds of horoscopes matched, all boxes ticked. Religion, caste, gotra, this, that, age, economics, dowry. What kind of love can you expect in such an arrangement? These days, they also sign agreements in advance. If we break up before 2 years, you'll have no alimony rights. And girls are becoming smarter. Hmm? Obviously, I mean, if men can be wicked, women can be at least smart. Is that love? And then you have kids. What kind of upbringing? What kind of family and environment? How would they be raised? And then we have the audacity to call all of that as love. Why insult the word? It's what makes life worth living. Why insult the word? It's the highest. I love the way you move your body. I like the way you breathe. And we are always afraid in such arrangements because we know all of it is so fragile, so conditional. One phone call can shatter it all. No? That's not love. We, in some way, are born to love. Can there be liberation without love? Not possible. So, if liberation is the destination, love is the road. Yes. You come. Are there two more candidates? Okay, okay, okay. I asked you because I thought you still had more to ask. Sure? Pakka? Okay.
Pranam Acharya Ji. Acharya Ji, today I'm here with a question that I heard from you only. It's regarding the entrepreneurship, Acharya Ji. Acharya Ji, for last 20 to 30 years, we are seeing that the technology has grown very much. The access to knowledge has grown very much. And in doing so, knowingly or unknowingly, we have distorted lots of things like the environment, the nature, the state of humankind. So the contradiction comes that in one way we are saying that something is growing, and on the opposite we are losing the things, we are destroying the things. So on one way we can say that it's an opportunity to do the things, and on the other way it seems a responsibility to start the new things. So can you please bring me to common point that whether work means you only have said that this entrepreneurship is a sacred calling. So whether it's a responsibility or an opportunity, Acharya Ji, because we have lots
the two are not different really. They are different only when you have the notion of the selfish kind of opportunity. And then you have to be told that even as you benefit from your opportunity, you must also remember your responsibility. It's almost like snacking in a restaurant, right? The menu card is the opportunity, and the bill is the responsibility. So, in those situations, you are reminded, listen, with opportunity comes responsibility. With the food comes the bill. Hmm? It's in those contexts that these two things are different and dangerously different, and therefore, through social obligation or legal regulation, you have to be reminded to keep these two together. When it comes to matters of the heart, opportunity is responsibility, responsibility is opportunity. The two are not separate.
So, if talk about some AI tools or some chat GPT, somewhere I was reading that if I make one prompt, it takes some quantity of water it consumes to cooling it. So one way it seems beneficial for humankind, and other
No,
way
it totally depends on what that prompt is about. It totally depends on what you're using AI for. You use AI to educate yourself about the climate. And then, if AI takes energy to run, on the net, still the deal is beneficial. Maybe by educating yourself using AI, you have consumed X units of energy. But the education would mean that you will save now on 5x units of energy. So, on the whole, it's a favorable deal. On the other hand, if you are using anything for a nonsensical purpose, and even if you consume a small amount of energy, it should still be discouraged. You can still use a large sum of energy, provided it is for a sustainable and consistent and right purpose. Then it's fine. That's fine. I'm asking you, let's say we are having a seminar on climate change here in this very hall, right? And it's a month of April or May in Hyderabad, which is hot. Top climate scientists have assembled here. And they are serious. They sincerely want to speak to each other to discover ways for meaningful action. Would you want them to sweat here, or would you rather turn on the ACs?
definitely turn on the
The
ACs.
ACs. Now, if somebody comes and says, look at this, they are talking about climate change while enjoying the ACs. This is a foolish objection. This is a foolish objection. Even if you turn on 10 ACs, that is justifiable. At the same time, if you sit here needlessly chit-chatting and gossiping, and you're using just one AC, even that one AC is not all right. Switch it off. Switch it off.
And then Acharya Ji, means what should be the point of operation that I would call it to be the means right and the wrong?
The center, you see, if I extend the climate example, it's not that you cannot emit any carbon. There is a natural cycle of emission and absorption. Natural cycle. So you can emit, and that is all right. 2.4 tons per capita annually. Fine. The problem starts with the dislocation of the inner center. Now you'll start consuming heavily. America, 14 tons per person. Dubai, 22 tons per person. That kind of a situation. Right? Plus high fertility rates. So not only do you consume yourself, but also produce more consumers. And those consumers in turn will produce even more consumers. So you say, but I have only 2 kids. Those 2 will have 2 each. That would mean 4. And that would mean 8. And you see how it would progress. So you didn't beget 2. It's the entire progression. That's due to you. And all that happens when you don't have a meaningful purpose in life. Then a lot of time is spent just ingratiating oneself with consumption. Otherwise, if one is fighting the right battles in life, then first of all, spare time to consume gets reduced. Secondly, even if you consume, that is for the sake of that battle. Like the AC is for the sake of the seminar. And that is fine. That's not consumption intended to ingratiate. That is consumption for the sake of the right effort, right mission, right purpose. Lives bereft of purpose, they are the ones that consume the most. Consume endlessly, purposelessly. And that is what is not sustainable. Nothing to do in life, nothing to do in life. Right, let's have 1 more baby. Or we have so much money, darling, what to do? Okay, let's have 3 more babies. In the developed world, particularly the USA, the fertility rate among the rich coolly exceed the fertility rates among the general population. The rich are having kids as entertainment. Nothing to do and so much money. So 5 kids, 6 kids, 4 is the norm, 10, 14. Just because we have money. So let's have kids, Toys. Let's fetch new organic toys. No, that's stupidity. And that says that you have money but no purpose. You have money but no purpose. So you are entertaining yourself with pregnancy. Or you have money but with no purpose for that money. So you are buying new private jets, adding to your fleet, needlessly buying islands and building castles, because there is money and nothing to do. Money is not the problem. Purposelessness is the problem. And when you are purposeless, then one of the entertainments is burn the money. And that's what is climate change.
Acharya Ji, you talked about the purposeness, Acharya Ji. Acharya Ji, it can arise from 2 ends. One is what generally it is said that what you are interested in, and what you say is that what is actually important, what that has to be done. So Acharya Ji, what I found that what that has to be done is right. So Acharya Ji, there are n number of things that has to be done, that has to be rectified. So which one has to be chosen for an individual?
You have the intellect to decide that. When you are packing for a journey, there are n things that you have to do. But don't you prioritize? Don't you form a sequence? You do. What else is the intellect for? You know what is more important. You also know which action is a prerequisite to the next one. So that's how you come up with a hierarchy or a sequence. You also know the relative importance of various actions. Just as you have place value in a number of 8 digits, you want to enhance the value. Which one would you act on? Which digit? The first digit, right? That's how you decide where to act. There are 8 options, but I would rather act on the first one. And then some idiot can come and accuse you of not acting on the last one. And you can ignore the objection. He'll say, look, at the last digit is at 0, and this fellow is not at all working to increase it. And the first digit was at 5, and he is still focusing on increasing it. When it was already at 5, he still wants to add to it. And the last one is at 0, and he's ignoring it. Surely he is either shrewd or stupid. You can ignore it. You know the value of things. 0 in the last digit, even if you turn it to 9, means very little. But 5 in the first digit, even if you turn it to 6, it means the world. Right?
Thank you, Acharya Ji.
Sir, right now I'm following my own goals, which I made after listening to you in the past 1 year. But after this talk, I'm feeling that regret, small regret, that actually I'm following my own goal, but not separately working on the climate change. So should I worry about it? Or just continue on my own goals?
What you are and that which is your own is inseparable from the climate. So these are anyway not two different things. Look at what is implicit in your question. What you're saying is, I'm working on myself and that which is my own. And in the process, I am forgetting the climate. No, the problem is not that you are forgetting the climate. The problem is that you are not looking at the bigger picture. You, your life, your goals, nothing is separable from the climate. We are all one. So in whatever you do, climate has to be remembered because it is a big, big part of it. In whatever you do. You want to design chips, you'll have to remember the climate. You want to raise a family, you'll have to remember the climate.
If my goal is not going to damage the climate change, it's all good.
How do I know? First of all, I'll have to get into the calculations. Because there are things
No, actually,
that don't...
if you want me to quote it, my only goal is to be the world's greatest athlete.
Depends on who the sponsor is.
Yeah. No, we'll keep that things in mind.
So
But-
that's what. There is so much that you have to keep in mind.
No,
Because
what I
everything
am
is
asking
inseparable.
if I'm not working for the climate change separately.
So nobody needs to work for climate change separately. Please understand. Because climate is something that should have remained in an equilibrium on its own.
That's it.
Right? No animal is needed to work for climate change. Tell me why? Because animals don't destroy the climate either. Human beings are also not needed to work towards the climate because just till around 100 years back, we were not damaging the climate. So the climate anyway does not require our active intervention or support.
Okay.
Right? It's not as if we need to go out and heal the climate. The climate takes care of its own, We destroyed it. The change is anthropomorphic. We did it. And therefore, we have to undo what we have done. And who did it? This entire culture altogether. That includes athletes as well. Think of the various ways in which the sporting culture, the sports industry is related to overconsumption. You have to look at everything. Right? Before you become a brick in the wall, you have to understand what that entire structure is about. So taking care of climate does not mean that each single person has to become a climate activist. No, not really. You don't need to regret about that. Not everybody has to hold the mic and preach about climate action. You don't need to do that. But you need to be very acutely conscious. Right? You might say, I'm just an athlete, a swimmer or a runner, but if you look at the linkages, you will see how everything contributes to something else. And that's where your resolve and wisdom, first of all, before resolve, will be needed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello everybody, my name is Abhishek. I am a 2022 graduate of IIT Kharagpur. I learned civil engineering and environmental engineering there. Thereafter, I joined Ola Electric as a product management professional. Thereafter, I worked in startups, and then I came to UPSC preparation, for which I have given my UPSC CSE written examination recently. During my complete journey of education, I have learned many things, from technology to environmental engineering, to AI, to product management, and now about a lot of our society, as in the case of UPSC syllabus. But one thing was always missing. One thing that I found always missing was the education about the self. I never knew myself. And the problem, because of not knowing myself, was I was constantly attracted towards so many things that I was not able to understand which way to go, which way not to go. I tried many things, and thankfully I figured out the course by Acharya Prashant, the Gita Samagam. It is called the Gita Samagam. I was not very attracted by the word Gita about it, but I anyway joined, and later figured out that it is the complete education about the self. How do I behave? What attracts me? What do I repel? And it is a whole lot of clarity about oneself. Now I have started to see why things attract me, and I am able to see it clearly and gain a clarity where should I go and where should I not. I recommend every student, every professional should be enrolled in this course to at least know themselves, to at least start a journey of knowing themselves so that they can make better choices. It is helping me, it will also help you. Please do join the course. It will be very beneficial for you. Thank you.